you before when I ain't looked this good. Oh, okay. We'll get to that. But let's get it started right now with a thriller. Not in Manila, in Baltimore, where Lamar Jackson's Ravens went toe-to-toe with the Chiefs last night. Lamar put up the Ravens up by 1 with second touchdown run. Baltimore got the ball back late in the fourth quarter after a huge fumble by KC. On 4th and 1, Lamar got the first down, which helped, quote, get that monkey off our back with his first win over Patrick Mahomes' Chiefs. So, Acho, what does this win over the Chiefs say about Lamar Jackson?
Man, it says that finally Lamar Jackson can beat the Chiefs, which means everything. It means now then that Lamar Jackson can go to a Super Bowl. And if Lamar Jackson can go to a Super Bowl, it also says that Lamar Jackson can win a Super Bowl. Do not for a second underestimate nor understate what this means wins. The Chiefs were the toll road, and you got to pay the toll for the little bridge to go up, for the little barricade to go up so that you can pass the toll to get to where you want to get to. Okay. The Chiefs were the toll road, and the Ravens had previously not been able to get past the toll. They got through all the other exits, got on the on-ramp, they got to the toll, and they had to turn around, or they just sat there and stalled and let other people drive past. But finally, this win tells me that, hey, the Ravens can do it, and they can go all the way. That's the biggest thing I truly took away. It also says that the gap in arm talent between Mahomes and Lamar Jackson may be vast.
It may be vast?
Large.
What do you think?
It may be. But the gap in efficiency and effectivity is not nearly as large as we want to make it.
Effectivity, not effectiveness.
Because
like it.
It's like, yes, Patrick Mahomes is a generational talent between his IQ, between his arm, between all these things and his weapons. But Lamar Jackson still beat him. He just did it his way.
Okay, there you go.
And I loved it because everything doesn't have to look how we want it to look for it to be efficient or for it to be effective. Lamar Jackson looks like nothing we've ever seen before. I don't care. Don't bring up the others. Like, yes, they share some qualities, but he just does it even better. This win was huge for the Ravens. This win was huge for the NFL because the NFL previously, you got to go through the Chiefs. I'm not saying you no longer have to go through the Chiefs, but at least now the Ravens can go through the Chiefs and or you got to go through the Ravens too.
Man, I love it. I love it. I love it. You were giving some props to Lamar Jackson, but you were giving it to him as an appetizer, hors d'oeuvres of sort. You brought him on the tray, but you didn't want to serve it on the plate. Let me give it to him as an entree.
Please do.
Woo, Lamar Jackson and the Ravens, they done caught up to those Kansas City Chiefs. And good for them. I don't know if the Kansas City Chiefs are better this year than they were last year. Mahomes went 14-1 last year. Can they be better? They already have that one loss this season. We'll see. But even if the Chiefs have gotten better, Lamar has closed the gap. The Ravens have closed the gap. And how did they close the gap? Let's not forget about the injuries. They closed the gap with no running backs in the backfield, but I guess if Lamar Jackson is still available, then your best running back is still available. Lamar Jackson in terms of the passing game. And let's be real about this passing game. We all had our question marks about it. I think we still have some questions, but we're seeing flashes of brilliance in that passing game. Whether it's the big bombs out there to Hollywood or it's the fact that you saw Sammy Watkins, especially week 1, looking good, you're starting to see the blips that you need to see to have some balance with this team's attack. Let's talk about the ability of this team, because the greatest ability of the Lamar Jackson Ravens is their unpredictability. Let's talk about how, to an untrained eye, you see this offense, you see this team coming, and you don't believe what you're seeing. I'm going to break this down by one play and one play in particular that lets you know how special this team is. Let's talk about the design runs for Lamar Jackson when they're up the A-gap.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about how that happens. When you get a slam block, okay, I'm sitting there as a nose tackle. I'm like, oh, I know they're going to run the ball. Lamar Jackson, I don't know where he's going to go. Then you get slammed from a guard and a center. Guard says, got him. Now let's go up to the linebacker. You're the linebacker. I remember when you played. I know how you think. You're like, I ain't signed up for this, coach. But you know what? My job's on the line. Got to do what I got to do. Close my eyes and let's make some dirt. So now you got the 300-pounder getting slammed by 2 guys, so it's 600 pounds on him. He's not going to make that play. You got a linebacker who's not fully committed to this, but his job's on the line. And then who's carrying the ball? Lamar Jackson in a blur, coming downhill. I swear, every time he gets that ball in that designed run, it's 6 yards before anybody is in consideration of making that play.
Yes, sir.
What happens is not just that play in design, is when you don't know that play is coming, the unpredictability of that play. I'm looking at the Ravens, looking at the Kansas City Chiefs, say, we know who you guys are. but you guys don't understand who we are in fullness. And if this passing game continues to uptick, it's going to be special for Lamar Jackson and the Ravens.
My dog, you just threw it right there to the rim, so I got to dunk it. I'm about to give the world one of those slap your mama takes. At least one of them takes that make you want to slap yourself. The worst thing that ever happened to Lamar Jackson and the Ravens was Lamar Jackson leading the league in passing touchdowns.
Oh, don't do that.
That was the worst.
How?
Let me tell you why.
Ooh.
Lamar Jackson is a transcendent runner at the quarterback position. He is the best runner at the quarterback position the game of football has ever seen.
Facts.
Ravens, lean into that. From here on out, lean into that. Stop trying to go away from what Lamar Jackson does best and make sure you maintain balance. Lean into what Lamar Jackson does better than anybody else. Let me give y'all stats to back this up.
Let's go.
The Ravens are 14-0 when Lamar Jackson rushes for 90-plus yards. They're 9-0 when Lamar Jackson rushes for 100-plus yards. They're 11-1 when Lamar Jackson has 15 or more carries in the regular season. Lean into what Lamar Jackson does better than everybody else. Will Smith, big dog, you a comedian. Just take on roles that are comedic. Because what Denzel Washington does is this.
What?
Let me tell you, Sal.
We're going to lose, Ali.
Let me tell you, Sal. What Denzel Washington does is this. He going to play the same role every time. He going to save somebody. He might save his kid in John Q. He might save somebody else's kid in Man on Fire. But he's saving somebody to be one of the best actors of our generation. He's not like, you know what, I'm going to go be funny. I know what I do. I know what I do well, so I'm going to do what I do better than everybody else. Wow. So where I am and what I learned from this game is this. The Ravens, you are at your best when Lamar Jackson just says, I'm better than anything y'all have ever seen at this position running the ball, so I am going to do that. So I would have previously come on the show discouraged. Lamar Jackson had 2 interceptions. Lamar only threw for under 250 yards. Man, Lamar Jackson only had 1 passing touchdown.
Starting to learn.
Bump all that.
Yep.
Lamar Jackson is a better runner at the quarterback position than the game of football has ever seen.
Yeah.
So what else I learned from here on out, Ravens, y'all just run the pill until they stop you.
Okay, stop right there. John Harbaugh erased everything you just saw and heard for the last 4 minutes when you were talking right there. Hell no. You know how small that box gonna shrink if Lamar Jackson just leans into running? They gonna lean into his ass. They're gonna lean into him and knock him out the game.
Here is why I disagree.
You are wrong.
When you were talking, y'all bring up that 4th down play again if we have it. I think they pulled it up while my dog was talking. So I'm looking, and the box was stacked. Box, all that is, America, for your viewers, is how many linemen and linebackers are within like a 7-yard radius of the football. Box is stacked. Yeah. But the kicker is, even though they had untouched players, you still couldn't stop the man. Everybody in their mama knew he was going to run the ball. Everybody in their mama knew he was going to run the ball, and you still couldn't stop him.
Yeah, but
because you can't stop somebody that's transcendent.
Let me be hell yes, you can. Let me be an insurance agent right now and look at this case and say, okay, everyone knew that Lamar Jackson was going to run the football.
Yes, sir.
Right there, and he still was successful in getting the 1 yard.
Yes, sir.
Game over. However, what was the risk factor in terms of this one play in comparison to a 1st down play in the middle of the 2nd quarter? What we're trying to do is make sure we got you off balance to fully exploit who you are as a defense. You don't want Lamar Jackson doing that many times in the ball game, even though he was successful in that opportunity. Let me tell you what you're also wrong on. Will Smith, don't ever do that. Dog, in the pursuit of happiness.
He did that. And 70 pounds. He did do that.
In the pursuit of happiness for these Ravens, and in the pursuit of happiness for Will Smith, get out. It's okay to get out your lane. It's okay to throw the ball, Lamar. It's okay to throw the football.
Go ahead.
To throw the defense off. I do not want to see Lamar Jackson lean so heavily. And when we've been trying for the last couple of years to get him to have a balanced attack, to all of a sudden do that. Lamar, this is why I say that they caught the Kansas City Chiefs. And everyone's going to be like, oh, my God, how you can say it's just one game and they still have lost in the season series against them in years past? Shut it. Let's talk about this. They spotted them. 2 interceptions, a pick 6, spotted them, and still caught up to the Kansas City Chiefs. You can sit there and say, look, if you run a simulation, at the end of the ball game, the Kansas City Chiefs are not going to fumble the football in the last drive that can go ahead for the field goal. We understand that as well. But if you run this simulation 1,000 times going forward, I'm starting to see a team that actually has balance offensively. Look at the quarterback's records last 20 years or so when they have multiple picks and a pick 6 in the game. They have played 588 games. and they have lost 500 of them. Lamar Jackson did something special against normal teams. That was extremely special when you're talking about it was against the Kansas City Chiefs. Also, the Ravens' first game versus the Chiefs in this era, where they actually did well on money downs. Little details like this. The first time they were over 50% in third down percentage. I'm nitpicking because this is what it takes for you to catch up to the greatest in your conference. Now they have caught up to them. The only thing that's going to take them over the hump is actually having balance in their offense.
No, sir. What will take them over the hump is doing what they do well. Sell.
They do it.
First play of the game, Lamar Jackson. Pass play. Excuse me. First play of the game, Lamar Jackson. Right tackle. Real quick run. Second play of the game, Lamar Jackson. Pass play. Third play of the game, Lamar Jackson. Interception for a touchdown. So three plays to start the game. Second one, he misses Hollywood Brown. Long foul ball. Dude was wide open. Okay, we're going to go out there and pass again. Pick six. Ty Matthew, Chiefs going the other way. So what do? Second drive, hey, let's chill out. Do what you do well, Lamar. Hey, Denzel, just go out there and save somebody.